Welcome back to a day in the life as a fashion designer. Hello there, I'm Belinda and this is me in my home studio based in Accra, Ghana. Today I'll be showing you how I cleaned out my secondhand Overlocker. And I don't want to bore you, so I'm going to turn this into a mini story time. If this is something you're interested in, I give you 5 minutes to get some popcorn and a comfortable seat because you're going to listen to the funniest stories of how I started my business here in Accra, Ghana. Let me give some context to this story. I got this Overlocker in 2014. So technically I've owned it for 10 years and it had never been cleaned out. The backstory to that is I taught myself to sew in 2011, and for the majority of the things I made in 2011, 2012, 13, and most of 14, the finishing was a little funny. So for the first 2 years, I don't think I did any finishing in any of the garments I made and sent out to people. And I'm sorry about that, but in my defense, I was still learning. And then one day I opened up a garment of mine and realized that there's a finishing. And I found out that I could take these garments to a local overlocker so that they can do it for me and then I pay for it. I did that for at least 2 years and until I realized that I could buy my own overlocker. It's 2013 and I get an order on Etsy for a gorgeous dress which I finish without overlocking. And there was this shop close to my office. I used to have a day job while sewing at night. I took this dress to that shop to get it overlocked. And the people in that shop were so weird. And you get there, they're speaking a language I didn't understand, even though I speak Chi and they understand that. But then after I talk to them, they switch to a different language. And then I'm just sitting there waiting till they're done. So this day I get there and the man who does it he's in a mood. So I just wait till it's my turn and they have a pile of things they're getting done. So I wait till it's my turn. I used to like it when they open up the seams and overlock the sides so it looks nice and neat like something I did myself. But they don't do that. And they do it so quickly that you don't even notice that they put the two seams together and just did one finish. And he did the entire dress, shoved it into my hands and said he was done. So I paid for it and I left. I got home at the end of the work day, opened up the bag because I was going to press the dress and pack it up so that I could ship it the next day. To my surprise, I opened up the dress and realized that he had put the seam together with the dress and done the seam finish. To those who don't understand the concept of overlocking, it's actually cutting clean the seam that you already did. So when you're sewing, you cut the fabric and then you have two pieces of fabric together. And those two pieces of fabric that you sew together is called a seam. You can overlock them open or overlock them closed. And while he was holding the two pieces of fabric together to overlock, he grabbed a piece of the dress, the front part, and did the overlock together. And after doing that, he gave me the dress. I came home and I realized that had happened. So I decided to separate the dress part from the seam and found out that there was a cut. Because the overlocker cuts the seam clean and covers it with thread, it's like a weaving mechanism, covers the seam with thread. I realized that there was a cut in the middle of the front part of the dress. And my heart just dropped because then I knew that I had to sew the dress all over again, buy a new fabric, spend time to make the dress all over again and go do this overlocking again. It was in that moment that I knew I had to get my own overlocker. That was 10 years ago. Let me explain a little bit of what I'm doing in this video and then we'll go back to the story because it gets juicier. I have already, first thing, I don't know what I'm doing in this video. My aim is to open up the machine and clean out all the dust and grime and old oil in the machine. That is my main aim. So I'm taking out any screw I find and I'm trying to get into the machine to be able to clean out the hinges and the gears and the screws and everything. So that's what I'm doing basically. Now I'm inside the skeleton of the machine, as we can all see. Still looking for things to take apart, but at this point I think I realized that there's nothing else to remove. So I'm going to start cleaning up shortly. But the part of this video that you don't see is how surprised I am about how dirty it is on the inside of the machine. I knew it was dirty, but I didn't think it was this dirty. Even this might look bad. I had already removed most of the lint from the threads over the years, and this is much better than I originally saw when I opened up the machine. Initially, I thought I could rub oil over the dirty parts of the machine, but then I realized that it wasn't going to work. So I had to use a damp cloth, just water, in the beginning to wipe the dust off. Because of the oil, that wasn't working either. So I had to put a bit of dish soap and water to wipe the machine clean. Let's get back to the story while I clean. So I decided to buy the new overlocker. I went to the market one morning and I bought the first overlocker that I saw. The problem is, I asked the man who sold it to me how to thread the machine, and he said he honestly did not know how to thread the machine, and that should have been a cue for me to not buy it. But I still bought it and brought it home. I thought there was definitely a video on YouTube that could help. Surprisingly, I couldn't find any videos. I'm not sure if I was searching for the wrong thing or I just didn't know what I was looking for. But I could not find any video to help me thread this overlocker for the life of me. When I brought it home, it was threaded. So all I did was connect my threads and pull them out so that I could use my threads. And I'm not sure if this will surprise you, but it surprised me. I used that machine on the first day I brought it home, and then the thread broke. I couldn't thread it anymore. I tried everything. I could not thread this washing machine. I could not thread this overlocker at all. And it took me 5 years to finally find a video on YouTube that could help me thread this machine. And the rest is history from there.